Hey Kendall, how you doing? All right. It looks like you've got a really great understanding of the project and the process here, so that's outstanding. It looks like you posted late Friday night, and we're looking for feedback before Sunday. And I apologize I didn't do that. I had a specifically daunting weekend. Um, I'll tell you what. The work isn't due to the critique board until later on in the week, but I always in the schedule, I was every week I say, please post early so we can get comments back to you. So consider that. I think that in a perfect world, this assignment would be due on Wednesday for critique. So we would have the rest of the week to critique. But having the assignment due on Friday and then critiques before Sunday, that's kind of tough. Specifically, if I don't come into the studio on Saturday. So I just want you to know where I'm at there. I wasn't ignoring your request here. I just didn't have a chance to get to it, so I apologize there. The good news is that you have everything. I am only finding one thing missing in this presentation here. So let's go ahead and go through. So you understand what the difference between Project 1 and Project 2. That's great. Project 1 is just a process book. Okay, it's not a different project at all. It's the same project. It's just the process book for the prototype project. Okay, so these are basically left over from week 1, right? So that's fantastic that you're kind of scaffolding and building on what you already have. So we have the target audience. Um, what you could probably even define this target audience a little bit more distinctly, because you're saying everyone who's concerned about climate change, but you really want to get that target audience nailed specifically. Okay, so if I'm 85 years old and I'm concerned about climate change, I'm not part of your target because I don't ride a bike anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? So, it's probably likely that I'm not taking public transportation at that age. So really try to narrow that target audience down to not to the people who are concerned about climate change, but the target is specifically addressing the people who will use your app. Okay, so think about that. Three main functions of the app calculates, track trips, calculates, and connects to others, other team members. That's fantastic. Competitors, good job there. Good job. Tips, actions. Try to list pros and cons of your competitors. I think that's a really, really good way to analyze the competition, is look at, and not a complete SWOT analysis, but definitely look at the pros and the cons of each of those. Okay, so excellent job on your personas. Personas are fantastic. And then here's your scenario. So you've got your two personas, you've got your ideation of the problem, you've got your two personas, and you've got your scenario sketched out. Wireframes, that's what we're missing. So if you take a look at the requirements over here, so we have persona scenarios, create wireframes of all screens, and then create a storyboard of the scenario. So we're missing the wireframes of all screens and then paper prototypes. Those are the two things we're missing here in your presentation. So we come down here, back here, and we see there is no wireframes, including all the screens, and there are no paper prototypes. So that's really important. Let me give you an example of what we're looking for in those. So, okay, here's your sketched out scenario in storyboard format. Here's another scenario in storyboard format. And that's almost like what you did. I think that was very, very smart, before the app and after the app. Then over here we have, actually this presentation doesn't have those. Let me see, I thought I had another presentation up. I guess I didn't. At any rate, I'm sorry about that. So at any rate, you'll need to include your wireframes of all sketches, and then create paper prototypes, photograph those paper prototypes. Let me show you an example of that. Hang on one second. Here's an example. This example is right in the announcements for the examples for week 2. So if you take a look, here's an example of a storyboard scenario. Okay, so it's a sketched out storyboard depicting the scenario. And then over here, these are wireframes. These are basic sketches of each of the screen that's involved in the the app. So these are the sketched wireframes, and then over here is the paper prototyping, and these are actually what is going to be used to do the testing. So as you can see, this is a mock phone, and the way this would work is the phone would be placed over each screen, or the screens would be cut out and placed under the phone. Then you would show that to the user, ask them questions, and have them make their choices, record the data, and then slip the next screen in there and give the next set of instructions for testing. Okay, so those are the only things that are missing in your project. So we will definitely need to get those in there. Again, I just want to say at this point, please let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you need any clarifications whatsoever. Okay, Kendall, thank you very much for your sharing your work. And again, really, really important, especially at this early stage. And there's still a lot of confusion floating around about the assignment. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know, and I'll be glad to make those clarifications. Thank you very much.